what's the writing process like for you two, and along with Richard? What's that process like? Is there a lot of improvisation, or how do you sort of write these things?
It's these different stages of every. The
There's
first
no
stage
rules,
is just where.
but
Yeah, there aren't rules, but it seems that
we work on the outline.
the three of us
and
come
what
up with an
happened
outline,
to them.
and we decide if we want to write the movie, and what the movie's basically going to be about, what are the themes of the movie, and what's the ending of the movie, and then we can work towards that. And once we have that, then we're on our way. And then we write it, but we've never really written anything good, not all three of us in a room together. I mean, people have this idea
like
that
little bits of things.
Yeah,
like on
little
Before
bits.
Sunset, I think we were able to write more. But here we got like to a point in our lives where we're so busy and kids and family and work, and so we got all in a room for this one and really just worked for 10 weeks.
I mean, we're three writers who sit in a room for 10 weeks and really hammer it out. I mean, it's fun. We just tell stories and laugh a lot, but we're always have an eye on, oh, that could be in the movie. That could be in the walk. That could be in the fight scene. Oh, that could be in the, we're always, it's work related, but it's super fun. I mean, Julie and Ethan are really fascinating, funny, smart, perceptive people. So it's fun to work with them in that way. It's a lot of energy there. And we really trust one another. We're very supportive of one another, and yet we push each other in really healthy ways. You might have an idea, something that means something to you, and the other two will go, I don't know, is that interesting? Is that original? Is there a place for that in this? And it's just up to you to make it more interesting, make it more funny, make it more, so we're pushing each other. But by the time anything's in the final film, it's gone through the three of us thoroughly. We probably discard 95% of what gets put out there as material. So it's a pretty stringent process we do, but it's very egoless and fun, really.
I was very emotional, and I didn't think I was going to be. Talking about it and seeing it, to me, it was two completely different things. So I was very surprised that I got emotional about some of the parts of the film.
It was freaky, because you don't really look at yourself. You're just busy reacting to the world around you. And so it was really interesting to see myself through the eyes of another person, and with other people that do what I love, and just seeing these common threads.
I mean, it's so interesting because it's like when you're just living your life, you're just going through and doing your best and working hard. But when you see it on camera, like in the film, it kind of like made me feel a little uncomfortable because I'm not used to seeing myself like that and being interviewed. And so it was really interesting, but truly honored to be part of it.
Tell me about what it was like as an actor working with Alexander Payne.
As good as it gets. He said to me the very first day, don't show me anything during this movie. Let me find it. And that means don't overact for him. Don't push. Don't perform. I'll find the real moments. Trust that I'll be there when you do them. You don't have to show me when they're coming or anything. Well, no one had ever said that to me in my whole career. And that's the key thing. And with every actor, he gives you just an amazing amount of freedom. He's right there. He's as close as he is while we're doing the scenes. And he will not print one single take unless he believes he's seen it for the very first time. Seen that thing happen, what happens live in the scene. He'll only print the truth.
Well, he's a brilliant filmmaker, and the wonderful thing about him is he understands actors. He does understand how an actor works, and some brilliant directors don't. So you're in luck with him in that respect. He knows what you're doing, why you're doing it, and it's easy to work with him, to work together with him on things.
Could you sense that the script was special when you first read it?
Oh my goodness, yes. The first time I read that script, my mouth was open. I just could not believe that a script was written this spare and this real and putting these wonderful things, words in everybody's mouth. I mean, I have been in awe of the script from the beginning.
When you first read the script, did you recognize that this was a character you could really sink your teeth into and really?
I'd have been blind not to recognize that. I mean, it's a fabulous role, and I was ready to play it. I don't know. I got the script originally 10 years ago. I don't know 10 years ago that I could have handled it as well as I did now. I'm a lot more older, crippled up and all this stuff because I'm a runner and I get injured every year. But I've just enjoyed the whole ride, and anybody who's in the movie will tell you the exact same thing. I mean, he's just an amazing guy to work for. And he didn't write this. Bob Nelson wrote it, you know.
Tell me about working with the great Bruce Dern.
Well, he's heaven. He teases me all the time, but other than that...
How does he tease you? What does he tease you?
Oh, he went, I was in Gypsy on Broadway, and I played one of the strippers in the Gotta Get a Gimmick number. And we were at a screening, and he went around telling everybody I was a pole dancer. So they were coming up to me saying, well, I understand you were a pole dancer. And I'm saying, what? I was never a pole dancer. So I had to go and tell him to stop this. He said, well, it's the same as a stripper, isn't it?
He's spreading rumors about you.
Yes, he is.
Mr. Scorsese, you've done so many films about New York. What was it about this aspect of New York, Wall Street, and the story of Jordan Belfort that really attracted you to make this movie?
The character and the bad behavior, I think, really. I think in terms of, first of all, the bad behavior always being interesting in a film. The villain, is always more interesting, the antagonist. But this gave us a chance to sort of revel in it. And as we're reveling in it, to maybe realize and take a step back and say, what are we doing? Why are we laughing? Why are we laughing? And yet, out of human nature, within the context of what's going on in the film, it is funny, but it's not funny, ultimately.
What's it like as an actor being on a Martin Scorsese set?
Greatest experience of my life.
What is it about your approach as a director that works so well with Leonardo's acting style?
That's a good question, because it just seemed to, after we did Gangs of New York, on Aviator, it came together. And that's when we realized, you would like to work together more. Because you can't, look at Gangs. He plays this young punk street kid, and then he's playing Howard Hughes. There's a big range in there. And I said, well, interesting.
You must be extremely pleased with not only the box office success of the film, but the critical success, the Oscar nomination. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, it's all very overwhelming, and it's all kind of a whirlwind for us because we finished the movie end of October, and it came out, about a month later. We were doing press before that, and we've been doing press since then and taking it, around the world to Europe and then Japan and Mexico, and so we're still kind of reeling from all of it. And once in a while, we get to read the things on our phones as how it's doing, and once in a while we get to go home and spend some time at home. But it's more than we could ever imagine,
And, yeah. Hugely. I'm terrified of the dress I have to get. 'Cause this is the part no one told me about, which is having to dress up all the time. But, I will say what's amazing, I think, as a filmmaker, to ever think that you have a film worth talking about outside of just going to see it, that you have a film that is resonating, that people think is worthy of any nomination. It's beyond a dream come true. It's like you can't even think of that. So for us to be experiencing, I think we keep saying we can't process it. It's just too amazing.
Are you excited about the Academy Awards coming up?
Oh, yeah. Very, very.
What does that mean to you? That's going to be a very special night.
Well, just the idea that with the Academy Awards that they think this performance that I gave ranks, with the top 5 for the Academy. That's pretty heady. It really is. That excites me. Really does.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for talking to me. Yeah, pleasure.